34 points in Game 3, but couldn't get the win for Portland, who now finds themselves down 2-1 to the Lakers. Dame had 7 points in the fourth quarter, but was 1 for 6 from the floor and missed all 4 of his 3-point attempts. And after the game, he said it just wasn't the Blazers' night to make shots. So, Shannon, what happened to Dame time?
Well, Dame was Dame. Skip, I think the thing is that as you become a more elevated player in this league, the expectations greatly increase. And because Dame has thrust himself into the superstar stratosphere, there's more expected of him. And when things don't go well, he knows. When things didn't go well with the Bulls, they lost, they go to Mike, what happened? When the Celtics, it was Bird. The Magic, it's the same thing. And so that's where Dame is now, Skip. When they don't win, they're going to ask Dame, what happened? Dame, what, even though he might score 40, if he didn't get those, if he doesn't score 12, 15 points in the fourth quarter, people are asking the questions, well, Dame, what happened to you? Well, he had 27 through 3 quarters, which kept them in the ball game. Because just when you thought, Lakers about to get a surge here come Dame hitting timely threes, off-balance threes, and he's still trying to be aggressive. Skip, for Dame Lillard to be 6 foot, 6'1", and to say, you know what, I'm going to turn the corner, and I'm going down, and I'm going to flush, and I'm going to get my bench involved in this ball game, lets you know his mindset. Like, he is not afraid of Jack. For him to even think he could even do it, let alone attempt it, to even the thought process. And had Anthony Davis not been AD who he is, that could have turned the game around and got the Blazers back into this ball game and really gave them the surge that they needed. But Dame is fine. I don't worry about Dame. Dame Lillard is going to do Dame Lillard.
You don't worry about him because you're a Laker fan.
No. Dame is going to get you 35. But CJ got off, and CJ cooled in the middle. What they need to go simultaneous. They're going to need to be somewhere, Skip, around probably 65, 70 points between the two of them to beat the Lakers.
So I need to reset my watch because now you're explaining to me that Dame time is actually first through third quarter time.
Dame time is all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a stopwatch. You just keep running. Just keep going.
Well, while LeBron was mean-mugging him, I got you, Dame. Dame was going 1 for 6 and 0 for 4 from 3. And I'm like, I don't know. I just need to see Dame time. Just show me one where you just say, I got this. I take over this game.
You saw it in Game 1 when he was getting dumb with it. He was back there dancing.
Yeah, he made 3 threes in the middle of the quarter.
Okay.
And then he didn't take it home because, remember, Melo and Gary Trent Jr. took it home with the 2 biggest threes that closed the door on your Lakers, who were up 6 with 7 minutes left. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's not LeBron time. I don't know whose time it is.
It's always.
But I keep waiting. I keep telling everybody, last year against no KD Golden State, 4 straight fourth quarters, he had all kinds of opportunities to take the game over against Steph and Clay. It's a 50-50. I got CJ. I'm a superstar. And CJ can be a superstar every once in a while for stretches. And he shot 29% from 3 in those 4 fourth quarters and in overtime, and 31% from the field. And he's doing it again against your Lakers, 31% from the floor, 33% so far from 3. But maybe tonight's the night. Maybe the next night will be the night. He's got 2 more opportunities to show me Dame time. Come up big. You say he's special. Yeah. I haven't seen special in fourth quarters.
Yeah. But you see special throughout the entirety of the game. Skip, we got to see, you pinpoint it, and then when he comes up big in the fourth quarter, you say, well, he should have come up big because he didn't do anything in the first 3 quarters, and he was the reason they were in the hole in the fourth quarter. So I'm just trying to figure out, I'm just trying to
find out when Dame time is.
You know what Dame time is.
It's not in the fourth quarter.
Yes, it is. It's always his time.
Really?
He's the reason why the games are even close. Without Dame going bonkers in the first half, these games would be over at halftime. Like your team got out the 21-point lead, and what happened? Without Porzingis. So where's Kawhi? When is Kawhi's time?
I'm just waiting for Dame time.
It's Dame time all the time.
I'm waiting for him to wave bye to the Lakers, and maybe he could. You could even it up tonight.
Skip. It's the 8th seed.
Okay.
Really?
Well, you told me it's the most dangerous 8th seed in the history of the playoffs.
It's still an 8th seed.
Oh.
That's still what they are.
Okay.
Okay, I get that. Yes, they're dangerous. We don't normally see 8 seeds that have this kind of firepower, especially, well, I mean, you got to go back to Jordan, his rookie year. when the 1-8 matchup was Bird, the Celtics versus the Bulls, to find somebody that had a player with this kind of firepower on their roster. It doesn't happen.
So Damian Lillard went a stretch of the equivalent of 2 straight fourth quarters over the games against Brooklyn, then Memphis, and Game 1 against the Lakers without scoring a single basket. And I'm saying, is that a superstar? It's a star, but you put a big old Caps S-U-P-E-R in front of his name.
First of all, let me ask you a question. If I make 26 free throws, do I not get 26 points? So free throws are points, right?
Sure.
So although he's not making 5, 6, 7 field goals, he's going to the line making 6, 7 points through the free throw line, because you said those are free. And so that if he's capitalizing on those are points, right? Okay.
You should be very happy you're playing Damian Lillard. That's what you should be happy
Why
about.
am I happy?
Because it's not been Dame time.
Oh, my goodness.
He's had his moments. I feel like we have to acknowledge that. Game 4 tonight. We'll see if Dame can tie it up. Guys, is Paul George, or as Skip likes to say, George Paul, not doing enough to help Kawhi get a second straight title? What is he doing? We explain. A step-back 3 at the buzzer to take the win and even the series at 2 games each. Shannon, what was the biggest reason the Clippers lost this game?
They can't stop Luka. It's a conga line to the basket. I mean, they cannot stop Luka. And I know everybody's going to make up about the last possession and how Reggie Jackson got switched on Luka. But he only got 3 points on that one.
Who's going to make that?
Whoa,
Is that a Twitter thing or what?
Skip.
I don't know.
You going to let me talk or you
I don't know.
Well, go ahead.
I'm just cross-examining.
Go ahead. You should go.
Everybody's going to say?
Go ahead.
No, go.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
No, go.
No, go ahead.
I'm
go
just
ahead.
asking a question.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's your turn. I want to hear all the stuff that you have to say.
No, go ahead. I'll go after you. Go ahead.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You're going to pout and we're just barely starting the show?
I'm making a point, and then you cut me off.
Well, you said everybody. I want to know who everybody is.
Well, when it's your turn, you can say who everybody was. How about that?
Well, you interrupt me all the time and say, how can you say that, or what do you say?
Go ahead.
Seriously?
I'm good.
Oh, this is childish.
Go ahead.
Okay, I will go. The last shot of the game was a 1,000,000-to-1 shot by a terrible three-point shooter and a terrible clutch three-point shooter who was 0 for 10 in the last minute of regulation games or overtimes during the regular season with the score tied or within 1 basket.
Okay.
Think about that. He was 0 for 10. Think about this. Dallas was 0 for 18 in those situations because Dallas has been a terrible clutch shooting team down the stretch.
Yep.
Can't close games. In clutch time possessions, Dallas ranked 25th in the NBA. So this is like a 1,000,000-to-1 shot by a guy who, by the way, for those who have lost touch and have gone completely over the edge with this one shot, they couldn't stop Luka. Baloney, they couldn't stop Luka. They stopped him down the stretch of regulation. He did not score a basket for the last almost 3 minutes of the game because Kawhi Leonard took him and Kawhi Leonard stopped him. I didn't see any conga lines to the basket. Help me out. Did he score a point in the last 3 minutes of the game? Help me out. Show me. If you can show me a basket, the Clippers went on a 10-2 run and should have taken the game back after giving up a 33-point run to the Clippers because the Clippers were up 21 in the second quarter and fell all the way to 12 behind in the fourth quarter. I've never seen anything like it. You want to talk about taking the foot off the gas? And here came Dallas, and I thought, well, they're going to choke in the clutch because they always do.
Correct.
And they did. But the Clippers couldn't quite get there because Kawhi Leonard is not a great last shot taker or maker. But I told you that. I told you that from the start. I told you that in his San Antonio days. I'm on record. I didn't second guess. I first guessed this from the start. I told you last year. He's made one of those in his life, and it took 4 bounces from the corner to drop through against the Sixers, who just got eliminated and swept yesterday by Boston. So the point is, on the last play of the game, you're talking about a guy who during the regular season ranked 140th of 147 three-point shooters. He shot 31.6% during the regular season. It was horrendously bad. He's also a very poor free throw shooter. He's not quite as bad as LeBron James, but he's getting there. And by the way, he has now missed the most free throws has Luka Doncic in the playoffs so far. He's missed the most, 13. So you can't trust trust him at the late game free throw line, and you definitely can't trust him shooting three-point shots, especially to win games. 0 for 10, Dallas 0 for 18 in those situations. So what happens?
Yeah, what happened?
Once again, as I pointed out on Twitter, and I'm sure people were retweeting to you or sending it to you or whatever they do to you. I don't know what they do. I don't follow anybody. I don't even know how it works.
Why do you care what people do on Twitter?
But the point is, how was Reggie Jackson even in the game? How was he even in the game? People are going to say, no, I said it. I called it on Twitter immediately. Why is he in the game? Reggie Jackson, during the regular season, ranked in defensive win shares 235, 235th. Help me out. Doc, help me. Why was he in the game?
Who would you have preferred?
Give me Jermichael Green. Give me somebody bigger, because guess who he lined up on? As they lined up to bring the ball in with 3.7 seconds, not a lot of time, so something's going to have to happen pretty quickly, right?
Yep.
So what happens? You got Kawhi lined up on Luka face-to-face. Then you got, what? 6'3" Reggie Jackson on Kleba, who is 6'10". Is that a smart move? I don't even know what that was. Then you got Paul George at 6'8" lined up on little Seth Curry, who was killing them between him and Trey Burke. My God, they couldn't miss a shot. So I'll go with 6'8", Paul George on 6'2". But Marcus Morris winds up on Tim Hardaway Jr. That's big on sort of medium size. And Landry Shamet, who's a much better defender than Reggie Jackson at 6'4", much better. He is lined up on Dorian Finney-Smith, who is taking the ball in. If you wound up with Shamet on Luka, I'll be okay with that, because at least he's 6'4", and he will fight you on defense. Nobody ever accused Reggie Jackson of defending anybody in Oklahoma City or Detroit or with the Clippers, who picked him up, obviously, at midseason.
Correct.
So the point is, the other thing that drives me nuts about the Clippers, because they're so proud of their defense, we can switch everything.